Welcome to Usha Homeopathy TV channel. In this session, we are going to discuss about the sinus infection, how this sinus get infected, and what are the homeopathic medicines. What are the homeopathic medicines that are useful to treat the sinus infection? There are very good number of homeopathic medicines to treat the sinus infection permanently. This is the common question we usually come across with the patients, whether there are any homeopathic medicines to cure the sinus infection permanently. The answer is yes. You will get a permanent result with the use of homeopathic medicines. There are very good number of medicines that are useful to boost your immunity. Basically you will get a sinus infection whenever your immune levels are very low. These homeopathic medicines, they basically, as I said already, homeopathic medicines basically they boost up your immunity and thereby they can cure your sinus infection permanently. First of all, have to know how your sinus get infected. Before that, we need to know what are the sinus. These sinus are nothing but the air-filled cavities in the skull. In the skull, to lighten the skull, there are 5 pairs of sinus cavities. They are maxillary sinus. They are situated in your cheeks and behind the nose. Nasal cavities and sphenoid. So they are between. They are just in front of the eyes, and there are frontal sinus and also the ethmoid sinus inside the skull. These are all the air-filled cavities. They are all air-filled cavities, and they will have the lining, mucus lining. These air-filled cavities, as I said, they are useful to lighten your skull. Whenever they get infected, these sinus air-filled cavities, you will get an infection called the sinusitis or the sinus infection. The openings of the sinus infection, these are openings of the sinus cavities, they are drained into the openings. They drain the liquid that is formed in the mucous membranes of the sinus linings. They drain into your nose. Whenever the sinus openings blocked, usually this blockage of this sinus openings causes the blockage of the mucus. The mucus get trapped inside your sinus cavities. Thereby, there will be growth of the bacteria and the virus inside your sinus cavities. They lead into the sinus infection. They lead into the sinusitis. It is called the sinusitis or sinus infection. The patients of the sinusitis usually complain as the great headache, the heaviness in the head, and postnasal discharge, and also the fever, throat pain, the redness of eyes, and also the watery discharge, the thick yellow color discharge many times, and also the lacrimation, the watering eyes. These symptoms are, a patient may experience all of these symptoms. Sometimes these patients experience the few of these symptoms. This depends on the pair of the sinus cavities, the type of the sinus cavities those are infected. Let us discuss about homeopathic medicines. What kind of homeopathic medicines helpful to treat this sinus infection? As I said already, there are a number of homeopathic medicines. We have to select the homeopathic medicine for sinusitis based on the constitution of the patient. We should not go for the specific prescriptions like this medicine is useful in sinusitis, such as we have to study the whole constitution, the individuality of the patient, and how to select the right homeopathic medicine for his constitution. Thereby it can cure the chronic sinusitis permanently. First of all, how to know about the Calibicromicum. The Calibic, KB, Calibic or Callium bicromicum. This is a very good remedy, the excellent remedy to treat the sinus infection. This is a very first grade remedy to treat the sinus infection. The Calibicromicum, the patients usually complain as the pain at the root of the nose, the severe pain at the root of the nose, and also the thick yellow color discharges. Those are stingy and ropey. These kind of discharges usually indicate the Callium bicromicum. Sometimes these people also complain as the offensive nasal discharges and also the post nasal discharge. The discharge comes through the back of the nose into the throat. These kind of symptoms indicate us, guide us to use the Callium bicromicum for sinus infection to cure the sinus infection permanently. And the next best remedy is the Silesia. The Silesia patients, they usually suffer from the sinus infection of all the cavities. As I said, the ethmoid sinus, maxillary sinus, sphenoid, nasal, frontal sinus, all of the sinus get infected in the Silesia patients. They usually they can't tolerate, the Silesia patients, they cannot tolerate the cold air, the chilly. These patients are chilly, and sometimes the offensive nasal discharges and bleeding from the nose also these patients usually experience. The next remedy is the pulsatilla. If you want to use the pulsatilla, the patient, he must complain of the cold, the open air emulation. They doesn't like to sit under the fan. They want to go outside and they want to get relaxed from the open air. Whenever they have sinus infection, the severe headache they experience, and also the thick nasal discharge, the green color discharges, usually they will have the green color discharges and they are also the offensive in nature. These kind of symptoms usually indicate the pulsatilla. And the next best remedy is the Mercurius solubilis. In case of Mercurius solubilis, the patients experience the throat pain, the fever, and also slight sweating. The patient usually they get irritated from sweating and along with this sinus infection. This is the indication for Mercurius solubilis. Another most important symptom is they usually get the sinus infections, the sinus pain during night time. When compared to the daytime, these people usually suffer in the night. And the next remedy is the belladonna. The belladonna is for the acute the sinus infection. If you have an acute sinus infection with a great headache and fever and redness of eyes, the stuffiness of eyes, stuffiness of nose, then belladonna is a very good remedy to treat such an acute conditions. And also the sanguinaria. The sanguinaria, if you have nasal polyps with the sinus infection, the sanguinaria is a very good remedy. Another most is the spigelia. The spigelia, in the spigelia case, the left side eye pain, you will get a left side eye pain with sinus infection. Then you need to use the spigelia. And also the stuffiness of nose. Great stuffiness of nose attracts the attention of ammonium carbonicum. These all remedies acts excellent in 200 potency. No need to go for 100 potency. If you give just 2 pills of this medicine, except belladonna, any of these remedies, if you give just 2 pills of this medicine, then your chronic infection will get cured within 1 month. A single dose, just 2 pills of this medicine that acts for 1 month or 2 months, up to 90 days, some medicines. After giving Calibicromicum, if your sinus infection, if it is not get cured, then you need to think about the phosphorus. In most cases, after Calibicromicum, it indicates the phosphorus. These phosphorus patients, they usually crave for cold air or cold drinks. Cold drinks also. They want to take cold drinks or cool water along with the sinus infection. And these patients are usually chilly, even though they also like the open air, cold air. And these kind of symptoms always attracts the attention of the phosphorus. And also there are a number of medicines. We have discussed about very few medicines that we use in our clinic regularly, but a number of medicines, hundreds of medicines are available to cure this sinus infection permanently with the help of homeopathy. This is all about the sinus infection and homeopathic treatment. If you like this video, I request you to please share this and please like this. To have a more information on sinus infection and homeopathic treatment, please browse my website www.homeoresearch.com. This is all about the homeopathy and sinus infection. Tomorrow we will meet with some other health condition. Until then, bye.